What if the secret to becoming a millionaire isn't just about money, but about how you handle what you already have? What if the Bible, yes, the Bible, holds the keys to financial freedom, abundance, and a life of true wealth? In the next 45 minutes and 25 seconds, I'm going to reveal 10 life-changing lessons rooted in timeless biblical wisdom that will transform the way you think about money, success, and your purpose. These aren't just principles. They're a roadmap to building wealth that lasts while honoring God and impacting the world around you. But here's the catch. This isn't for everyone. It's only for those who are ready to take control of their financial future, live with intention, and align their wealth with their faith. Are you ready? Let's dive in. 10 biblical lessons to build wealth with purpose. In 1 Timothy 6 verse 18, the Apostle Paul writes that we should do good, be rich in good works, be generous and willing to share. This instruction reveals that generosity is an essential part of the Christian life and should be practiced consistently and joyfully. In 2 Corinthians 9 verse 7, Paul reinforces this message by saying that each one should give what he has decided in his heart, not reluctantly or under obligation, because God loves a generous giver. This verse is a call to reflect on the attitude with which we offer our help and contributions to others. Generosity must come from the heart, be voluntary and devoid of ulterior motives or desire for recognition. God loves it when we give with a joyful heart, because this joy in giving is an expression of our trust in Him and our love for others. In today's world, where money and material goods are often valued above all else, generosity reminds us that our true wealth is not in material goods, but in the love we share and the help we offer to others. The Bible calls us to be stewards of all that God gives us, using our resources for good, sharing what we have with others. In need, we recognize that God owns everything and that we are merely caretakers of His blessings. Furthermore, generosity has the power to transform lives for both the giver and the receiver. By giving selflessly, we experience the joy of fulfilling a greater purpose and connect with God's unconditional love for the receiver. An act of generosity can bring relief, hope, and even spiritual transformation by feeling God's care through the action of another. Another important aspect of Christian generosity is responsibility with what we have. Generosity does not mean being irresponsible or giving more than we have, but rather being intentional and careful with what we share. God invites us to be good stewards. Plan and give wisely so that our acts of kindness do not lead us into debt or hardship, but instead multiply blessings in a sustainable way. Finally, we are generous. We are transformed. The act of giving makes us more sensitive to the pain of others and allows us to see the value of living a Christ-centered life and loving our neighbors. What we offer, whether it is time, resources, or support, is a seed that God uses to produce fruits of kindness, compassion, and grace in the lives of many. Being generous reminds us that what we have is temporary, but the effects of our generosity can be eternal, as Jesus teaches us when He reminds us that our true treasure is in heaven. Generosity is then a path of love and faith, a calling to be a light in the world and to share with joy what God has given us. Lesson 2. Be faithful in small things. Being faithful in small things is a central virtue for every Christian who desires to honor God in every detail of their financial life. In Luke 16 verse 1, Jesus tells us that whoever is faithful in a very little will also be faithful in much, and whoever is dishonest in a very little will also be dishonest in much. This statement teaches us that faithfulness in small things directly reflects our character and our responsibility before God, regardless of the financial value involved. The parable of the talents told in Matthew 25 verse 21 offers us another valuable lesson about faithfulness. In this story, A master entrusts different amounts of talents to his servants, and when he returns, he rewards those who manage well what they have received by saying, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's joy." These verses highlight that God values commitment to the small or large resources entrusted to us. This teaching about faithfulness in small things invites us to evaluate our attitude towards what we have. When we use our resources responsibly and with dedication, we demonstrate that we understand that everything belongs to God and that we are ready to act honorably in all situations. Our actions, even the smallest ones, can be a way of expressing gratitude and respect for everything He gives us in our daily lives. This faithfulness can manifest itself in many ways, such as managing our budget well, fulfilling our financial commitments, or helping with what we have, even if it is little. Although the amount itself may seem small, it is the heart and integrity with which we act that make the difference to God. He does not measure our generosity by quantity, but by intention and care with which we handle each decision. Being faithful with small amounts is also preparation to receive greater blessings. When we act wisely and responsibly in little things, God sees that we are ready to be stewards of something greater, because we show that our trust is not in possessions, but in the one who sustains us. This approach builds a solid foundation in our financial lives, preparing us for the challenges and opportunities that may arise. In addition, faithfulness in little things is a demonstration of our commitment to the teachings of Christ, who call us to live a life of integrity. Living this lesson means resisting the temptation to disregard what seems small and understanding that each resource has a divine value and purpose. This perspective helps us to see the use of our goods as an act of worship and gratitude, making our lives reflect the trust we have in the Lord. Finally, being faithful in little things transforms the way we see and manage our resources, teaching us that true wealth lies in being good stewards of what has been given to us. In this way, we are constantly reminded that by being faithful in little things, we move towards a deeper relationship with God, and He can trust us even more as we show that our focus is on His will and not merely on what we possess. Lesson 1. The power of generosity. In 1 Timothy 6 verse 18, the Apostle Paul writes, "Do good, be rich in good works, be generous and willing to share." This isn't just a nice idea or a gentle suggestion. It's a divine command. And here's why this matters. Generosity is one of the most powerful, transformative forces in the universe. It's not just about giving away money or resources. It's about shifting your mindset, breaking the chains of selfishness, and stepping into a life of abundance. But let me be clear, this isn't some prosperity gospel gimmick. This is biblical truth, and it's backed by a promise. When you give, you activate a spiritual principle that unlocks blessings you can't even imagine. Here's the surprising truth. Generosity isn't just about helping others. It's about transforming you. When you give with a joyful heart, you're telling God, "I trust you." You're declaring that He is your provider, your source, and your sustainer. And when you trust Him, He opens doors you never thought possible. He multiplies what you have, not because you gave, but because your heart was aligned with His. Generosity is an act of faith, and faith moves the hand of God. But let's get real for a moment. Generosity isn't always easy. It requires courage, sacrifice, and a willingness to let go. It's easy to give when you have plenty, but what about when you're struggling? What about when you're barely making ends meet? That's when generosity becomes a test of your faith. In 2 Corinthians 9 verse 7, Paul says, "Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion. For God loves a cheerful giver." Did you catch that? God doesn't just want your money. He wants your heart. He wants you to give with joy, not out of obligation or guilt. And here's the kicker. Generosity isn't about giving recklessly. It's about being intentional, wise, and strategic. You don't have to give away everything you own to be generous. Start small. Give what you can, where you can, and watch how God multiplies it. When you give, you're planting seeds. And seeds, when planted in good soil, grow into a harvest. But here's the thing. You have to sow before you can reap. You have to take the first step. Think about this. Every act of generosity is an investment in eternity. When you give, you're not just meeting a need. You're storing up treasures in heaven. Jesus said in Matthew 6, verse 20, asterisk, store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. Asterisk, your generosity has eternal significance. It's not just about what you give. It's about the lives you touch, the hope you bring, and the love you demonstrate. But let me warn you, the enemy will try to stop you. He'll whisper lies like, you don't have enough to give, or what if you run out? Don't listen to him. God's economy doesn't operate on scarcity. It operates on abundance. When you give, you're not losing, you're gaining. You're positioning yourself for God's favor, His provision, and His blessing. So here's the challenge. Are you ready to sow? Are you ready to step out in faith and trust God with your resources? Remember, generosity isn't just about money. It's about your time, your talents, your energy, and your love. It's about being a blessing to others, no matter how much or how little you have. And here's the best part. When you give, you experience the joy of being used by God. You become a conduit of His love, His grace, and His provision. You get to see lives changed, hope restored, and miracles happen. That's the power of generosity. It's not just about what you give. It's about who you become in the process. So, what are you waiting for? Start today. Look for opportunities to give. Be intentional. Be joyful. And watch how God moves in your life. Because when you live generously, you're not just building wealth. You're building a legacy. And that, my friend, is true success. Don't let this moment pass you by. Take a step of faith today. Give something, whether it's your time, your resources, or your love, and watch how God multiplies it. Remember, generosity isn't just a principle. It's a lifestyle, and it's the key to unlocking the abundant life God has for you. Are you ready to sow? Let's do this together. Lesson 2. Faithfulness in small things. Jesus said in Luke 16, verse 10, asterisk, whoever is faithful in very little is also faithful in much. Asterisk, let that sink in for a moment. This isn't just a nice saying. It's a life-changing principle. It's a truth that can either propel you toward unimaginable success or keep you stuck in a cycle of lack. Here's why. Faithfulness in small things is the foundation of everything. It's the secret ingredient to financial success, personal growth, and spiritual maturity. But here's the hard truth. If you can't manage the $100 you have now, why would God trust you with $1 million? Let's get real. We live in a world that glorifies the big moments, the flashy wins, the overnight success stories, the viral breakthroughs. But what about the small, seemingly insignificant choices we make every day? What about the $5 you spend on coffee, the $20 you waste on impulse buys, or the $50 you could have saved but didn't? Those small decisions add up. They reveal your character, your priorities, and your readiness for greater things. Faithfulness in small things is about more than just money. It's about integrity. It's about showing up even when no one is watching. It's about paying your bills on time, even when it's hard. It's about budgeting wisely, even when you're tempted to splurge. It's about honoring God with every dollar, every decision, and every moment. Because here's the thing, God is watching. And He's not just looking at what you do with the big opportunities. He's looking at how you handle the small ones. In Matthew 25, verse 21, Jesus tells the parable of the talents. A master entrusts his servants with different amounts of money, and when he returns, he rewards the ones who are faithful with what they were given. He says, asterisk, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Asterisk, do you see the pattern? Faithfulness in little leads to responsibility over much. But here's the urgency. If you're not faithful now, you're missing out on the blessings God has for you. Think about it. Every small act of faithfulness is a test. It's a preparation for something greater. When you're faithful with your time, God can trust you with more opportunities. When you're faithful with your money, God can trust you with more resources. When you're faithful with your talents, God can trust you with more influence. But if you're not faithful in the little things, you're disqualifying yourself from the bigger things. Here's the challenge. Are you being faithful with what you have right now? Are you managing your finances wisely, or are you living paycheck to paycheck? Are you stewarding your time well, or are you wasting it on distractions? Are you using your talents to serve others, or are you hiding them away? The choices you make today are shaping your future. But here's the good news. It's never too late to start. You can begin today. Start by creating a budget. Track your spending. Cut out unnecessary expenses. Pay off your debts. Give generously. Honor God with your finances. These may seem like small steps, but they're the building blocks of a life of abundance. And here's the emotional truth. Faithfulness in small things isn't just about money. It's about trust. It's about proving to yourself and to God that you can be trusted with more. It's about breaking free from the cycle of lack and stepping into a life of overflow. But it starts with the small things. It starts with the choices you make today. So, what are you waiting for? Don't let another day go by without taking action. Don't let another dollar slip through your fingers. Don't let another opportunity pass you by. Start being faithful in the small things and watch how God multiplies your efforts. Remember, faithfulness isn't just a one-time act. It's a lifestyle. It's a daily commitment to honor God with everything you have. And when you live this way, you're not just building wealth. You're building character. You're proving that you're ready for more. You're positioning yourself for God's best. Take a moment right now to evaluate your life. Are you being faithful in the small things? If not, make a change today. Create a budget. Set financial goals. Start giving. Honor God with your time, your talents, and your resources. Because when you're faithful in the little things, God will entrust you with much. Don't wait. Your future depends on the choices you make today. Let's do this together. Lesson 3. Avoid the love of money. The Bible issues a stark warning in 1 Timothy 6 verse 10. Asterisk, the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Asterisk, let that sink in for a moment. This isn't a gentle suggestion or a casual observation. It's a red flag, a flashing warning sign for anyone who desires to live a life of purpose, peace, and true wealth. Money itself isn't evil. It's a tool, a resource, a means to an end. But when you love it more than God, when you chase it relentlessly, when you make it the center of your life, it becomes a trap. And that trap can destroy everything you hold dear. Let's get real. We live in a world that glorifies wealth, status, and material success. Social media screams at us to buy more, have more, be more. Advertisements whisper lies that happiness is just one purchase away. But here's the truth. The relentless pursuit of money is a never-ending cycle of stress, anxiety, and emptiness. It's a race with no finish line, a chase that leaves you exhausted and unfulfilled. And worst of all, it can pull you away from God, the very source of true peace and abundance. Think about it. How many people do you know who have sacrificed their health, their relationships, and even their integrity in the pursuit of wealth? How many have climbed the ladder of success, only to find it leaning against the wrong wall? The love of money doesn't just lead to financial ruin. It leads to spiritual downfall. It distracts you from what truly matters. It blinds you to the blessings you already have. And it robs you of the joy that comes from living a life centered on God. But here's the good news. There's an antidote. It's called contentment. In Philippians 4 verses 11 to 12, Paul says, asterisk, I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation. Astor's contentment isn't about settling for less. It's about finding peace in what you already have. It's about shifting your focus from what you lack to what you've been given. It's about trusting that God's provision is enough. True wealth isn't about having everything. It's about being satisfied with what God has given you. It's about recognizing that your worth isn't tied to your bank account, your job title, or your possessions. It's about understanding that the greatest treasures in life, love, joy, peace, and purpose, can't be bought. They come from a relationship with God. But here's the challenge. Contentment doesn't come naturally. It's a choice. It's a daily decision to reject the lies of the world and embrace the truth of God's word. It's about saying no to comparison, no to greed, and no to the endless pursuit of more. And it's about saying yes to gratitude, yes to trust, and yes to God's plan for your life. So, let me ask you this. Are you chasing money or are you chasing God? Are you so focused on building your wealth that you've forgotten to build your faith? Are you so consumed with what you don't have that you've lost sight of what you do have? Here's the urgency. The love of money is a silent thief. It steals your peace, your joy, and your purpose. It creeps into your heart slowly, subtly, until one day you wake up and realize you've traded what matters most for what matters least. Don't let that happen to you. Don't let the pursuit of wealth rob you of the life God has called you to live. The time to act is now. Start by taking inventory of your heart. Where does your treasure lie? What are you chasing? What are you willing to sacrifice for? If money has become an idol in your life, it's time to tear it down. Repent, refocus, realign your priorities. And here's the promise. When you put God first, everything else falls into place. When you seek his kingdom above all else, he provides everything you need, Matthew 6 verse 33. When you trust him with your finances, he opens doors you never thought possible. When you live with contentment, you experience a peace that surpasses all understanding. Call to action. Don't wait another day to break free from the love of money. Take a step of faith today. Start by giving thanks for what you have. Give generously to others. Trust God with your finances. And most importantly, put him first in every area of your life. Remember, true wealth isn't about what you have. It's about who you are in Christ. Let's choose contentment. Let's choose God. Let's live the abundant life he has for us. The clock is ticking. The choice is yours. What will you decide? Lesson 4. Plan and prepare planned steps. Set goals, trust God. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, uncharted territory. You have a map in your hands, but it's blank. No landmarks, no directions, no clear path to your destination. Would you start walking blindly, hoping to stumble upon treasure? Or would you take the time to chart your course, marking every step, every milestone, every potential obstacle? The difference between these two approaches is a difference between wealth and poverty, success and failure, dreams realized and dreams abandoned. Proverbs 21 verse 5 delivers a timeless truth. Asterisk, the plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. Asterisk, this isn't just a piece of ancient wisdom. It's a modern-day blueprint for financial success. If you want to build wealth, you can't afford to wing it. You need a plan, a clear, actionable, and intentional plan. Let's break it down. 1. Budgeting, the foundation of wealth. Budgeting isn't about restriction. It's about empowerment. It's about telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Think of it as a foundation of a skyscraper. Without it, everything else crumbles. Start by tracking your income and expenses. Identify areas where you can cut back and redirect those funds toward your goals. Remember, every dollar you save is a dollar you can invest in your future. 2. Saving, your safety net and springboard. Saving is more than just setting money aside. It's about creating options. It's your safety net for emergencies and your springboard for opportunities. Aim to save at least 20% of your income. If that sounds impossible, start small. Even $50 a month can grow into a significant sum over time. The key is consistency. As the saying goes, asterisk little by little. A little becomes a lot. 3. Investing. Making your money work for you. Investing is where the magic happens. It's the difference between working for money and having your money work for you. Whether it's stocks, real estate, or starting a business, investing allows your wealth to grow exponentially. But here's the catch. You can't afford to be impulsive. Jesus' parable in Luke 14, verse 28, reminds us to asterisk, count the cost before building a tower. Asterisk, in other words, do your research, understand the risks, and make informed decisions. 4. Goal setting. Your roadmap to success. A plan without goals is like a ship without a destination. Set clear, specific, and measurable financial goals. Do you want to save $50,000 for a down payment on a house? Do you want to retire with $1 million in the bank? Write it down. Break it into smaller, actionable steps. And most importantly, set a deadline. Goals give you direction and motivation. They turn your dreams into reality. 5. Trust the process. Planning and preparation require patience and discipline. There will be setbacks and challenges along the way. But remember, every step you take brings you closer to your goal. Trust the process. Trust yourself. And if you're spiritually inclined, trust that the universe, or God, is guiding you toward your destiny. The time to start is now. Procrastination is the enemy of progress. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes. Don't fall into the trap of thinking, asterisk, I'll start tomorrow. Asterisk, tomorrow might be too late. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So, take out a pen and paper. Write down your financial goals. Create a budget. Open a savings account. Start researching investment opportunities. Take that first step, no matter how small. Because every journey to wealth begins with a single, deliberate action. This is your moment. Your blank map is waiting. Will you leave it empty, or will you chart the course to your millionaire destiny? The choice is yours. Plan, prepare, prosper. Let's make it happen. Lesson 5. Practice contentment. Picture this. You're standing in the middle of a bustling marketplace. Everywhere you look, there's something new to desire. A shiny car, a luxury watch, the latest tech gadget. The voices around you are loud, insistent, and relentless. Asterisk, you need this. You deserve this. Your life will be better with this. Asterisk, it's easy to get swept up in a frenzy, to feel like you're falling behind, to believe that more is always better. But what if I told you that the key to true wealth and prosperity lies not in acquiring more, but in appreciating what you already have? In Philippians 4 verses 11 to 12, Paul makes a startling declaration. Asterisk, I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. Asterisk, this wasn't just a casual observation. It was a radical statement in a world obsessed with accumulation. Paul wasn't rich by worldly standards. He didn't have a mansion, a private jet, or a 7-figure bank account. Yet, he had something far more valuable: peace. Contentment is your secret weapon in the pursuit of wealth and prosperity. It's not about settling for less or giving up on your dreams. It's about finding joy and fulfillment in the present moment, while still working toward a brighter future. Here's how you can cultivate this powerful mindset. 1. Stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison is the thief of joy and the destroyer of contentment. When you constantly measure your life against someone else's highlight reel, you'll always come up short. Remember, social media is a curated illusion. That friend with the luxury car might be drowning in debt. That colleague with the perfect life might be struggling with anxiety. Focus on your own journey. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. 2. Gratitude. The antidote to greed. Gratitude is the foundation of contentment. When you take time to appreciate what you have, you shift your focus from scarcity to abundance. Start a daily gratitude practice. Write down 3 things you're thankful for every day. It could be as simple as a warm meal, a supportive friend, or a beautiful sunset. Over time, this practice will rewire your brain to see the good in your life, rather than obsessing over what's missing. 3. Live below your means. Contentment doesn't mean you stop striving for more. It means you stop letting your happiness depend on it. One of the most powerful financial habits you can develop is living below your means. Just because you can afford something doesn't mean you should buy it. By resisting the urge to keep up with the Joneses, you'll free up resources to invest in your future. Remember, wealth isn't about what you spend. It's about what you save and grow. 4. Trust the process. Contentment is a spiritual discipline. It requires trust. Trust that you're exactly where you need to be. Trust that your efforts will bear fruit, and trust that the universe or God has your back. When you stop chasing after the next big thing and start trusting the process, you'll experience a sense of peace that money can't buy. 5. Break free from the rat race. The rat race is a trap. It's a never-ending cycle of earning, spending, and wanting more. But here's the truth. You don't have to play the game. You can choose to step off the treadmill and live life on your own terms. Contentment gives you the freedom to pursue your passions, spend time with loved ones, and create a life that aligns with your values. The power of enough. Contentment isn't about having everything. It's about realizing that you already have enough. When you embrace this mindset, you'll find that wealth and prosperity take on a new meaning. It's no longer about accumulating stuff. It's about creating a life of purpose, joy, and fulfillment. So, take a deep breath. Look around you. What do you see? Chances are, you already have more than you realize. Practice gratitude. Lie below your means. Stop comparing yourself to others. And most importantly, trust that you're on the right path. Contentment isn't just a lesson, it's a lifestyle. Are you ready to break free from the rat race and embrace the freedom that comes with true wealth? The choice is yours. Lesson 6. Be honest in all things. Imagine this. You're standing at a crossroads. One path is smooth, well-lit, and promises quick rewards. The other is rocky, shrouded in shadows, and requires patience and effort. The first path tempts you with shortcuts, little lies, small compromises, and easy wins. The second path demands integrity, even when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, or costly. Which one do you choose? The truth is, every decision you make, big or small, shapes your character and your destiny. Proverbs 11 verse 1 puts it bluntly. Asterisk, the Lord detests dishonest scales, but accurate weights find favor with him. Asterisk, this isn't just a moral lesson. It's a financial principle. Honesty isn't just the best policy. It's the only policy if you want to build lasting wealth and prosperity. Here's why integrity matters and how it can transform your journey to becoming a millionaire. 1. Honesty builds trust. Trust is a currency of relationships, whether in business or personal life. When you're honest, people know they can rely on you. They'll want to work with you, invest in you, and recommend you to others. Think about it. Would you rather do business with someone who cuts corners or someone who keeps their word? Honesty creates a reputation that opens doors and creates opportunities. 2. Dishonesty is a shortcut to disaster. It might seem tempting to fudge the numbers, hide the truth, or take the easy way out. But dishonesty always comes with a price. It might not be immediate, but it will catch up to you. Whether it's a damaged reputation, legal trouble, or the guilt that eats away at your peace of mind. As the saying goes, asterisk, what's done in the dark will always come to light. 3. Integrity attracts favor. When you walk in truth, you align yourself with a higher principle. Call it karma, the universe, or divine favor. Whatever you believe, there's a universal law that rewards integrity. People notice when you do the right thing, even when it's hard. And that kind of character doesn't just earn respect, it attracts blessings. 4. Honesty in business pays off. In the world of entrepreneurship and investing, honesty is a competitive advantage. Whether it's being transparent with your clients, paying your taxes, or honoring your commitments, integrity sets you apart. It builds loyalty, reduces risk, and creates a foundation for long-term success. Remember, a business built on lies might grow quickly, but it will never last. 5. The hard truth about doing the right thing. Let's be real. Honesty isn't always easy. There will be moments when telling the truth costs you money, relationships, or opportunities. But those moments are tests of character. They reveal who you are and what you stand for. And every time you choose integrity over convenience, you strengthen your resolve and move closer to the life you want to build. The millionaire mindset. Integrity as an investment. Becoming a millionaire isn't just about accumulating wealth. It's about building a life of purpose, impact, and legacy. And that starts with integrity. When you're honest in all things, you create a foundation that can't be shaken. You attract the right people, the right opportunities, and the right kind of success. So, the next time you're faced with a choice, whether to cut corners or stay true to your values, remember this: honesty isn't just a virtue, it's a strategy. It's the path to trust, favor, and lasting prosperity. The question is, are you willing to do the right thing, even when it's hard? Are you ready to build your wealth on a foundation of integrity? The choice is yours. Choose wisely. Lesson 7. Wait patiently on God. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, open field. The sun is setting, painting the sky in hues of gold and crimson. In your hands, you hold a handful of seeds, each one representing a dream, a goal, a step toward the life you've always wanted. You're eager to plant them, to see them grow, to reap the harvest. But here's the catch: growth takes time. You can't rush it. You can't force it. You can only plant the seeds, nurture them, and wait. In a world of instant gratification, waiting feels like a lost art. We want results fast. We want success now. But Psalm 37 verse 7 offers a countercultural truth. Asterisk, be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Asterisk, this isn't just a spiritual principle. It's a financial strategy. Patience is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Here's why waiting patiently is your secret weapon on the path to wealth and prosperity. 1. Patience protects you from costly mistakes. When you rush into financial decisions, whether it's an impulsive investment, a risky business venture, or a major purchase, you're more likely to make mistakes. Patience gives you the clarity to think things through, to weigh the pros and cons, and to make wise choices. It's the difference between a calculated risk and a reckless gamble. 2. God's timing is perfect. There's a rhythm to life, a divine timing that's often beyond our understanding. What feels like a delay might actually be divine protection. What feels like a setback might be setting you up for something greater. When you wait patiently, you align yourself with that timing. You allow space for opportunities to unfold, for doors to open, and for the right people to come into your life. 3. Patience builds character. Waiting isn't passive, it's active. It's a test of your faith, your resilience, and your determination. Every day you wait, you're building the character you need to sustain the success you're chasing. Patience teaches you to trust the process, to stay focused on your goals, and to keep moving forward, even when progress feels slow. 4. Waiting allows for divine guidance. When you're still, you create space to hear that quiet voice of wisdom, whether you call it intuition, the universe, or God's guidance. Rushing drowns out that voice. Waiting amplifies it. It's in those moments of stillness that you gain clarity, direction, and the confidence to take the next step. 5. Settling for less is the real cost. Impatience often leads to settling for less than ideal opportunities, for relationships that drain you, for a life that's smaller than the one you're capable of living. But when you wait patiently, you hold out for what's truly meant for you. You refuse to compromise on your dreams, your values, or your vision. The power of patient persistence. Patience isn't about sitting back and doing nothing. It's about taking consistent, intentional action while trusting that the results will come in due time. It's about planting those seeds, watering them, and believing in the harvest, even when you can't see it yet. So, the next time you feel the urge to rush, to force, to settle, pause. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself that good things take time. Trust that the universe, or God, is working behind the scenes, aligning everything for your highest good. Are you willing to wait for His best, or will you settle for less? The choice is yours. Lesson 8. Work diligently. Let's get one thing straight. If you want to be a millionaire, you've got to work for it. Not just work, asterisk grind star. Not just grind, asterisk outwork everyone else star. This isn't the time for half-hearted efforts, lazy excuses, or waiting for a miracle to drop into your lap. Proverbs 13 verse 4 doesn't mince words. Asterisk, the desires of the diligent are fully satisfied. Asterisk translation, if you want it, you've got to earn it. This is your wake-up call, your moment of truth, your chance to stop dreaming and start doing. Because here's the cold, hard reality. Laziness leads to lack. Mediocrity leads to misery. But diligence leads to dominance. One hard work is non-negotiable. You've got dreams, right? A vision of the life you want. The cars, the homes, the freedom, the impact. But dreams don't work unless you do. Hard work is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the sweat, the sacrifice, the late nights, and the early mornings. It's showing up when no one's watching and pushing when everyone else quits. 2. Your talents are your weapons. God or the universe, or whatever you believe in, didn't give you talents to waste. You've got skills, abilities, and a unique genius that the world needs. But here's the kicker. Talent without work is worthless. It's potential that never becomes power. You've got to sharpen your skills, hone your craft, and use what you've been given to create something extraordinary. 3. Laziness is a trap. Let's be brutally honest. Laziness is a slow death. It's the enemy of progress, the killer of dreams, the thief of destiny. Every day you waste is a day you'll never get back. Every excuse you make is a step further from your goals. Don't let comfort fool you. Don't let procrastination steal your future. Get up, get moving, get to work. 4. Your work is your worship. Whether you're building a business, climbing the corporate ladder, or managing your household, your work matters. It's not just a job, it's a calling. It's your contribution to the world, your legacy in the making. When you give your best, you honor the gifts you've been given. You create value. You make a difference. That's not just work, that's worship. 5. Diligence is the path to abundance. Here's the truth. The world rewards those who outwork, outthink, and outlast everyone else. Diligence isn't just about effort. It's about consistency. It's about showing up every single day, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it, even when the results aren't immediate. Because here's the secret. Small, consistent actions compound over time. They create momentum. They build empires. The millionaire mindset. No shortcuts, no surrender. You want to be a millionaire? Then act like one. Millionaires don't wait for opportunities. They create them. They don't complain about challenges. They conquer them. They don't settle for average. They strive for excellence. This is your moment. Your chance to prove to yourself and to the world that you've got what it takes. That you're willing to do whatever it takes. That you're not just dreaming of success. You're chasing it with everything you've got. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to give your best? Or are you going to settle for mediocrity? Are you going to work diligently? Or are you going to let laziness rob you of your destiny? The choice is yours. But remember this. Time is ticking. The world isn't waiting. And your future is depending on what you do right now. Get to work. Lesson 9. Care for those in need. Let's cut through the noise for a second. You want to be a millionaire? Good. You should. But here's the real question. What kind of millionaire do you want to be? The kind who hoards wealth, builds walls, and lives only for themselves? Or the kind who uses their wealth to change lives, lift others, and leave a legacy that outlasts them? Jesus dropped a bombshell in Matthew 25, verse 40. Asterisk, whatever you did for one of the least of these, you did for me. Asterisk, this isn't just a nice sentiment. It's a call to action. It's a reminder that your wealth isn't just about you. It's a tool, a responsibility, a divine assignment. Here's the truth. True prosperity isn't measured by what you have. It's measured by what you give. And if you're not using your wealth to make a difference, you're missing the point. 1. Generosity is a wealth magnet. Here's a paradox. The more you give, the more you receive. It's not magic. It's a principle. When you give, whether it's money, time, or resources, you create a flow of abundance. You open doors, build connections, and attract opportunities. Generosity isn't just good for the soul. It's good for your bank account. 2. Your wealth is a stewardship. Let's get one thing straight. Your money isn't really yours. It's a gift, a test, a responsibility. How you use it reveals your character. Are you using it to bless others? Or are you using it to feed your ego? Are you building a legacy, or are you building a prison of greed? The choice is yours, but remember, you'll be held accountable for what you do with what you've been given. 3. Generosity isn't just about money. Here's the surprise. You don't have to be rich to be generous. Generosity is about more than just writing checks. It's about giving your time to mentor someone. It's about sharing your skills to help others succeed. It's about showing up with love when someone needs it most. Money is just one tool in your generosity toolbox. 4. You're building eternal treasures. When you care for those in need, you're not just making a difference here and now. You're storing up treasures in heaven. Every act of kindness, every gesture of love, every moment of sacrifice is an investment in something eternal. It's a legacy that will outlive you. It's a mark you'll leave on the world. 5. Generosity reflects God's heart. When you give, you're not just being nice. You're reflecting the heart of God. You're showing the world what love looks like. You're proving that wealth isn't about selfishness. It's about service. It's not about accumulation. It's about impact. The millionaire mindset. Live to give. Here's the bottom line. If you want to be a millionaire, you've got to think bigger than yourself. You've got to see your wealth as a means to an end, not the end itself. You've got to care about more than just your own success. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to use your wealth to make a difference? Or are you going to hoard it for yourself? Are you going to be a giver? Or are you going to be a taker? The choice is yours. But remember this, the world doesn't need more millionaires. It needs more millionaires who care. Lesson 10. Seek eternal treasures. Let's get real for a moment. You want to be a millionaire? Great. But what happens after that? What happens when you've got the cars, the house, the bank account, the lifestyle? What happens when you've checked all the boxes, climbed all the ladders, and achieved all the goals? Here's the hard truth. If your wealth is only about you, it's empty. If your success is only about the here and now, it's temporary. If your legacy is only measured in dollars, it's worthless. Matthew 6 verse 21 hits hard. Asterisk, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Asterisk, this isn't just a verse. It's a wake-up call. It's a challenge to rethink what wealth really means. It's a reminder that true prosperity isn't about what you accumulate. It's about what you create. It's not about what you have. It's about what you leave behind. 1. Money is temporary. Impact is eternal. Let's be brutally honest. Money comes and goes. Markets crash. Investments fail. Fortunes fade. But the impact you make, that lasts forever. The lives you touch, the people you inspire, the love you share, that's the real treasure. That's what people will remember. That's what will outlive you. 2. Your legacy is your greatest wealth. When you're gone, no one will care about the size of your bank account. They'll care about the size of your heart. They'll care about the difference you made. They'll care about the memories you created and the lives you changed. Your legacy isn't built on money. It's built on meaning. 3. Invest in what matters. Relationships, faith, love, kindness. These are the eternal treasures. These are the things that truly enrich your life. These are the investments that pay dividends long after you're gone. Don't get so caught up in chasing money that you forget to chase what really matters. 4. Live with purpose. Here's the secret. True wealth isn't about having more. It's about being more. It's about living with purpose. It's about using your time, your talents, and your resources to make a difference. It's about building something that matters, something that lasts, something that changes the world. 5. The clock is ticking. Time is the one thing you can't get back. Every second you waste is a second you'll never recover. Every day you spend chasing temporary treasures is a day you could have spent building eternal ones. The clock is ticking. The world is waiting. The question is, what are you going to do about it? The millionaire mindset. Build a legacy. Here's the bottom line. If you want to be a millionaire, you've got to think bigger than money. You've got to think bigger than yourself. You've got to think about the mark you'll leave on the world. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to live for the here and now? Or are you going to build something that will outlast you? Are you going to chase temporary treasures? Or are you going to invest in eternal ones? The choice is yours. But remember this, the world doesn't need more millionaires. It needs more millionaires who care, more millionaires who give, more millionaires who leave a legacy. Let's make it happen. These 10 lessons aren't just about money. They're about living a life of purpose, faith, and abundance. But here's the urgency. You can't afford to wait. Every day you delay is a day you're missing out on God's best for your life. Start today. Be faithful. Be generous. Be diligent. And watch as God transforms your finances, your heart, and your future. Remember, true wealth isn't about what you have. It's about who you become. So, what are you waiting for? Your millionaire journey starts now. Let's do this together. Don't forget to like, as this will help it reach other people. Subscribing and sharing this video with someone who needs to hear it is also a blessing, and that is being abundant. Your journey to financial freedom starts today. Asterisk, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. God continues the Bible motivating.